So good morning. I'm Laura Bottinelli. I'm the Executive Director here at the Ward Museum of Wildfowl Art, Salisbury University. I'm so pleased to have so many together with us this morning for an exciting announcement. But first I wanted to make sure everyone knew that 2018 marks the 50th anniversary of the Ward Foundation. And in those 5 decades, the service of our organization has continued to grow and expand to the community through our celebration of art, nature, and tradition. In most recent years, we've established ourselves as leaders in early childhood education through our environmental learning and stewardship opportunities for school children. Through our grounds, our collections, and educational programs, we are connecting the natural world, ecosystems, and the human experience through lessons that interweave science and the arts. As you look out our window today, you'll see the potential of this location on Shoemaker Pond to be a laboratory to inspire students of all ages. And as we look ahead to our organization's next 50 years, we are pleased to have committed partners in our community supporting our work. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Kim Nishay, who is the Executive Director of the Perdue Foundation.
Thank you, Laura. Good morning to everyone. As she said, my name is Kim Nishay, and I'm the Executive Director of the Franklin P. and Arthur W. Perdue Foundation. And I'm really honored to be here amongst a lot of old friends to celebrate something really important to our community on behalf of Perdue Farms and the Foundation. And Laura, we at Perdue are also wishing to extend our congratulations on the Ward Foundation's 50th anniversary celebration. Standing here today just reminds me how fortunate we are to have a real gem like the Ward Museum here in our community. Its reach and its educational programs and all of the wonderful assets and programs that it brings extend far beyond the borders of the shore, and we're really, really grateful to have it here in our community. At Perdue, we understand that being a community partner means being involved and investing in the programs that are most important to our neighbors in all of the communities where our associates live and work. 2 of the causes that we support are the education of our children and the environment. And we're really honored to be able to celebrate those here today with the Ward Foundation, who has long been a supporter of educational programming and educational opportunities for our local school systems and in partnership with Salisbury University. Providing opportunities for children to explore, play, and learn about nature is vital for their development and also for educating and encouraging them to become our next generation of environmental stewards. With that in mind, I'd like Jim to come up here if he could, please.
I do what you
Surprise.
told me.
So with that in mind, it gives me great pleasure to announce, turn this little thing around here, spin it around. It gives me great pleasure to announce a $30,000 grant from the Perdue Foundation to enhance the living classroom and the educational programming that will provide here at the Ward Museum. The Franklin P. and Arthur W. Perdue Foundation see this addition of the living classroom as a really vital way to improve the educational opportunities here on the shore, and we're just absolutely honored to be a part of it. So thank you so much.
Well, that was very generous and exciting, and we are looking forward to implementing this funding. But next I'd like to introduce Dr. Janet Dudley-Eschbach, who's the president of Salisbury University.
Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you. You know, the generosity of the Perdue family and the way our communities have benefited over the years is just simply remarkable. Jim, I've been saying thank you a lot over the years, and I'm happy to say thank you again. Your willingness to support all of these activities that you do obviously has made a tremendous difference. And the Ward Museum is such an important partner in that community development. It was so exciting for me to drive in today and to see the kids, right, hanging, looking at plants and studying the water, and and scrutinizing bugs and all that good stuff. You know? And for those of you who may not know, the Ward Foundation is one of the affiliated foundations of Salisbury University, and it's got a long history. As you know, you've heard now a couple times, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the foundation, and it started out over in Holloway Hall, in what we think of today as the Great Room in Holloway Hall. So I can't imagine all the holdings of the Ward Museum over there, but we've come such a long way, and the whole point really, and I'm off script as usual, but I have to give a shout out. Were it not for the gentleman seated in the back of the room, the former chairman of the Appropriations Committee in our House of Delegates, Norman Conway. Were it not for Norm, we wouldn't be here today. You know, I don't know if that affiliation would have continued. Thanks to his vision, this relationship came to be between the university and the Ward Foundation. And the partnership between the university and the Ward Museum has grown so dramatically over the years, to the mutual benefit of the university and the larger community. It supports all of our educational programs under the leadership of Laura Bottinelli. There are more partnerships than ever and more visitors to the Ward Museum than ever. I also need to give a great shout out to the gentleman who has provided over many months leadership for that foundation, Kent Kimmel. Dr. Kimmel is right here. So, you know, we're in one of the newer parts of the newest part of the Ward Museum facility, but as you see, we're still under construction. The living classroom on Shoemaker Pond and the Perdue courtyard will be a tremendous asset that helps bridge the indoor and the outdoor learning experiences, and continues to build capacity because, as I said before, all of our educational programs continue to grow. So particularly as we look to the National Folk Festival, which will be hosted here in Salisbury very soon, kind of around the corner next September, I think we're going to see many opportunities for the Ward Museum to be highlighted. Obviously, the Ward is an essential learning resource for the entire state of Maryland and the entire country. And I don't know how many of you realize this, but wildfowl art, decoy art, is one of the top 3 or maybe 4 folk art forms, specifically decoy art. Do I have that right, Laura? In the entire nation. We know about jazz music and we know about quilting, and increasingly people are learning about the importance of decoy art, which is for us obviously another way of celebrating the great history and culture of the Delmarva Peninsula. So in the past year, I'm told the museum's educational services reached over 23,000 individuals and more than 12,000 area students. And if it's not too windy, if you see a 3- and 5-year-old running around here this weekend, it'll be my grandkids, because I'm in charge of them this weekend and obviously want to keep them busy. We promise to keep them away from the major exhibits. In any case, this effort, the ongoing efforts of everyone affiliated with the Ward Museum certainly have made our community richer and will continue to do so for many generations to come. And as I said earlier, continue to enhance the reputation of Salisbury University as a Maryland university of national and increasingly international distinction. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to turn the mic back to Laura. And again, major thanks today, both to Norm Conway. I'm going to let a little secret out of the room here. Soon we're going to have to refer to Norm as Dr. Conway, because the regents for the university system have given me the approval to award him an honorary doctorate in May. So thank you for your vision and support. And Jim, thank you, and thanks to all members of the Perdue Foundation and your family for your ongoing support. Thank you.
very much, Dr. Janet. Next, I'd like to invite Dr. Kent Kimmel, who is the Ward Foundation Chairman, to come up and say a few words.
Thank you all for coming today. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and I thank you all for taking time from your day. I would just like to echo the comments that both Kim and Dr. Janet have made about the wonderful connection between the Ward Museum, the Perdue Foundation, Salisbury University. I thank Jim Perdue, the Perdue family, and the foundation for this wonderful gift. We're a nonprofit, so we look for gifts everywhere they can come from. And this is going to be a significant gift for us because it will enhance our educational endeavors here. You've probably noticed out here some of the young people that are out on the deck right now working, what somebody called our young learners, which I think is a wonderful term. They're part of the Kindergarten Meaningful Watershed Educational Experience. I wrote that down because I knew I wouldn't remember it. That whole program is tied to the Chesapeake Bay Agreement. The students out here today are from Northwestern Elementary. They're out on a field trip and they're learning about the habitat for animals and things like runoff and pollution. This program that's out there today was funded by the Perdue Foundation in partnership with the Wicomico County Schools. So thank you again. The Ward Museum for a number of years has had a close relationship with the Maryland State Department of Education, integrating this facility into the state curriculum. All of the museum's education programs focus on the Maryland State Environmental Literacy Standards in conjunction with Governor Hogan's initiative, Project Green Classroom. Perhaps the best way for me to sum up the museum's expectations of the living classroom and our outdoor educational experience for the coming years as an anchor for our role as an educational leader on the Eastern Shore is to quote our education director, Aurelio Giannetti, who over here, who said, being able to enrich the lessons provided for these young learners, and this is a quote, science is much more interesting when it's hands-on. To that end, I am pleased to announce the naming of the Perdue Courtyard here at the museum. The courtyard will be this space behind me, and I will ask Laura and Aurelio to unveil. This is the... They didn't go to the gym this morning, so we're giving them a workout here. I can't imagine how hard it is to smile and hold that big stone. Okay. In closing, today's very generous gift from the Perdue Foundation will greatly benefit the educational expansion of our Soar to New Heights capital campaign. To date, we have raised $1.8 million to renew the museum. To learn more about the museum, I encourage you to get involved, to learn more about the community, how its relationship to the ward and the ward's relationship to the community. And I will tell you that if you don't know now, it's www.wardmuseum.org. Go there, become a member. Thank you.